The change in bowling. Muralidaran, the off-spinner, is coming on the southern end.
Now then, just called him for a no ball. Now what's going on out there? The umpire's called the captain across. Junior gets involved in a lot of discussions.
I just felt it was a bit unfair the way it unfolded. I think Daryl Hare, we all knew, was probably going to make that call, and he made his call on the fact that he believed he was bowling illegally.
And he's no-balled him again. Now, just let's have a look. Is he going past the front line or the return crease? Just let's have another look at this. This is causing a few problems.
Well, I hope he's not calling him for throwing.
No, Bill, don't get too excited. There's no way in the world he's calling him for throwing.
It was ugly to see it play out in such a big spectacle. It should have been sorted out beforehand or in a different way. I just thought he was crucified on the biggest stage, Test cricket, and to me that's pretty demeaning and disrespectful to a player.
It's the one that lands way inside. There it is, and now he's done it again. I just can't see how umpire Hare can be calling no ball here. So I can't find. Well, this has appeared from nowhere. This guy's bowled a lot of overs in Australia.
You could feel it building up, and there was a lot of talk in the media before the Test match about Murali's action. There always was, but he probably didn't understand it. I mean, I think looking back on it, I think his action was legal. He just had a physical, I guess, abnormality, and that's the way he was born, and that's the way he could bowl. I mean, if it was easy and he was doing something wrong, then someone else should have been able to copy his action, and no one's done that. So that proves that I think it was just a unique action.
He calls him very late, so I'm sure he's calling him for throwing. I hope it's not, but a terrible gut feeling.
I tell you, Bill, having looked at that, there is absolutely no doubt that he's called him for throwing.
Where it came into question was, I think, Emerson at the other end, who I think called a no ball on one of the balls where he actually bowled a leg spinner with a purely a proper action, and he called that a no ball. So in my mind, that means that Emerson's calls were probably a bit premeditated.
Well, there we go. He's being called, it looks to me, as if umpire Emerson has called him for throwing. Well, that was a leg break. So, he's not saying anything, but that was a leg break, and this is very interesting now.
It's a sad situation.
I mean, it was a different action. I just knew that he was very hard to pick up. It was like an optical illusion when you're batting. He appeared to bowl the ball, but it didn't sort of come out, and you're sort of looking, and it's a fraction later than the normal type of bowler. So it was very hard to face, and the first time you come up against him, you purely are guessing whether the ball's going to turn or not turn. You're hoping it's going to hit your bat, and you somehow survive, and then you can maybe get used to playing him. So he was extremely hard to play against.
And he's scored that one as well. Well, while David Boone has chalked up his 50, the youngster down the other end, Muralidaran, seeing his career float right out of the window. And you can imagine what's going through this young man's head at the moment.
Shouldn't have played out in one of the biggest Test matches of the sporting calendar, the Boxing Day Test match.